And then after you go to first period, and you hopefully have some assignment, you gotta think, pay attention here, and the teacher will give you assignments. The teacher just wants you to do it your way. I once had this math class, right, where the teacher would pass out the exercises we were going to do for the day on a piece of paper. Paper for each kid, and okay, so here's all the math problems we're going to do today. I think this is geometry class. So here's some diagrams, and here's, what you have to prove or find out or yada yada. And so me and the other people right next to me, we had these little groups of tables. We would just get this paper and work out everything before she explained it. Because we knew what we were doing, and this wasn't that hard, and it was only once every, 5 or 6 problems that I actually had a question for the teacher. So we work it all out ahead of time, get it done, and then just kind of hang out the rest of the class. Teacher did not like this. Teacher started giving us that sheet again that has all the problems, but with the numbers removed. Instead of be a blank, like, let line segment AB be the length of blank, and there's an angle degree here of CD with an angle is blank, and the blank and the blank, and so we'd have to just wait until the exact moment when she gives us the numbers to start figuring it out. And then, of course, we're not supposed to figure it out. We're supposed to stare at her and watch her do it and just copy it. And this is a fairly nice teacher. I've had worse teachers, believe me. I once had a teacher, and I hate to say this, because I don't really mean or anything, but of course I'm not giving out any names. But I once had a teacher who did not seem to know the material. It was crazy. And I would always ask questions in this class, and I'd say, could you explain that? And she couldn't explain it. In this class we had. There were things I did not understand until a couple of years later, when in an entirely different context, it was finally explained to me. This teacher, who is actually a nice person, but apparently she didn't know stuff as much as he or she needed to know. She would literally read from the textbook. Walk into class and pick up the textbook and just, okay, here it is, and just reading it off. Like, you do know what you're talking about, right? Because to be a teacher, I presume you need to. And here's the thing, if you get a crappy teacher, nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Part of the system. Deal with it. If your teacher is dumb or uninformed, if your teacher is mean, I've had that too. If your teacher's uncaring, oh my gosh. I've had teachers just sit up at the front of the class and just dish out more and more boatloads of homework. And the students know this is crap. Students know this is, more just work to do. This is not learning. It's not learning, this is work. You imagine if libraries are run this way? Imagine, like, I want to learn about physics today. I'm going to walk in the library, I'm going to pick up a physics book, I'm just going to physics, electromagnetism, that's pretty cool. And then suddenly a librarian comes in and says, whack, and puts like this paper down there. Okay, do these problems. Sorry, what you have to do these problems right now. That's what you have to do. You're learning physics, aren't you? Yeah, yes, I'm learning physics. Okay. But then you have to do these problems. What problems? The problems on the sheet. The sheet, yes, the sheet I just gave you. Now, yes. Well, what'll happen if I don't? Then you can't get a job. No, not ever. You have to do. Can I just read about physics and learn about it my own way? Wouldn't it be nice if we learn things as we needed in application or curiosity? So. Oh, I don't know. I get interested in fiction, and I want to write a book, which in real life I do want to write a book. And so I start, maybe reading some stuff about that, and learning some stuff about that. And maybe, there's a teacher, meanwhile, who knows a lot about English and writing, and maybe I go up to them sometimes and ask them questions or something. Maybe they even have lectures on the subject. But I don't have to attend the lectures. Wouldn't that be nice? Because when you're forced to attend, you're rolling the dice. And sometimes it's a good teacher. Sometimes in school, it's like, wow, this is a good experience. But that has been the exception and not the rule. Generally, it's like, okay, I'll just get through this, I just have to do what you say. I just have to, you know, you have to read a book for, let's say, English class. We're going on that idea. You have to read this book, and you have to read this book. And you must read it when we tell you to. You must annotate it. I hate annotations. I'm not an annotation type of person. Doesn't matter. You have to annotate. Doesn't matter how much time you spend, you know, thinking about the book in your own way. No. It has to be on the page. You have to underline these sorts of terms. You have to write an essay. It has to be this long. It has to be double-spaced. It has to be on this subject. It has to be within these guidelines. You have to submit to our grading. You know, we say this is a B or a C or an A or a D or whatever. That's it. You know, you can't get around that. You can't change that. You can't, you know. Ugh. You have to read this book. What if I want to read some other book? Did that ever occur to you? That maybe, just maybe, this book that you've told the entire dang school to read is, you know, not one size fits all? Maybe I want to read something else. Nope. Maybe you can do that on your own time. And thank goodness we do have our own time once we get our homework done. Oh, crap, the amount of homework I had. People think, and I guess it's true some places, some circumstances, that if, you know, you're particularly bright in terms of scholastic matter, that things should be very easy for you. Maybe they are, for some people. I don't know. I'm apparently, I hate to, like, say I'm bragging or something, but yeah, on the national tests I always score a very high percentile. So by that measure, I'm apparently very smart. But dang, school was hard. You know why? Because at least where I went to, particularly for high school, mainly for high school, no matter how smart you are, they just make it harder. Like, oh, can you handle normal math? How about advanced math? How about honors math? How about AP? It's advanced placement math. You can take college classes. I took all these college classes during high school, and then I got to college, and it turns out that the high school college classes are harder than the college classes, which was completely pointless. And people keep spinning this in like this nice way, and they say, well, you know, I suppose it really prepared you for college. I'm like, no, not really. Because I spent all this extra effort on stuff that means nothing, and half my AP classes end up not counting anyway, because depending on what college you go to, maybe they accept your credit, maybe they don't, maybe they... You know, and to think of all the time I could have spent on the stuff I really love. Here's a radical idea. Maybe your love of a subject somehow correlates to how much time you should spend on it. Huh? Maybe if I'm really interested in geography, I'll go learn geography. I'll go to a library, and I'll go, you know, and do things in a fluid, free way. And then it's even in a large basis, on a day-to-day basis. This is how I do. This is how I try to live my own life and all the free time that I have. And I have a lot more in college now than I ever had in high school. I try to, okay, so, you know, just saying, I'm interested in con artists today. Seriously. And then I went to, I actually did this at my job once. Or twice, or many times over. I was once an intern at this big company, and I didn't have anything to do, particularly, you know, just online. So I look up on Wikipedia, love Wikipedia, and look up a list of all the classic con schemes, confidence games, and all that. And I read through the whole list. That's what I was interested in. Now, is a teacher ever going to bring that up? And if so, they're probably going to bring it up to the whole class. You know, when it's only me and maybe two other people that are interested. But all of us have to learn whatever it is the teacher says. And do whatever the teacher says. And if you've got a bad teacher, tough luck. The idea of protesting doesn't really even strike into the mind. It's like, well, Mr. Smith's a horrible teacher, but we'll just get by.